All right. Hi, Alicia.
Hi,
Thanks for
Jen.
thanks for joining.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited to see if we get some folks to show up today.
Yeah. So we are so excited to talk about our upcoming photo tour to Alaska that we have coming up in July of 2021. And we thought it would be a great way of connecting and answering any questions by just kind of going through what the tour entails, and then any questions that anyone have who jump on, feel free to reach out, let us know what your questions are, and we will answer them live.
So, Jen, I'm kind of wondering if we should start out our live as people join us. Um, Maybe just giving some short intros about each other, or you give yours about yourself, probably.
I think that's great. I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
Yeah, good point. Okay, so I'll start and then I'll pass it over to you. So I'm Jennifer Lee Warner, full-time professional conservation wildlife photographer. I've been running my photography business, Experience Wildlife, for about 16 years now. And one of the exciting things that I do within my business is we run photo tours all over the world. I've got one coming up in Namibia this year, as well as I'm teaching at the Bird Festival in San Diego in about 2 weeks, and Grand Tetons in the fall. So lots of different places, different subjects, and I just love bringing people with me and sharing these special places that I visit and photograph.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. And I've been able to go on some photo tours with you, and we always have a good time every time we go out with our cameras. Where I don't know, it seems like we always get very interesting things to see, and I kind of feel like the wildlife sort of kind of appear. We get to have a lot of fun watching. So yeah, it's always fun to go out with you.
Thanks. Yeah, we do always have fun. Yeah, 2020 got a little bit backburnered on some of the things we were going to do, but in 2019 we went to Grand Tetons together and Yellowstone and Monterey Bay, and we did the Girls Who Click workshop in La Jolla. I don't remember if we did anything else, but we had a blast doing those things.
Yeah, well, we did a lot of photography in La Jolla, and then also last year in 2020 we did the Bird Festival together, which
That's
was really fun. So it was really a fun day doing workshops and seminars and having a booth there. So yeah, like it's been a lot of fun, and it's really been fun like coming up with a concept of like photologist and kind of what that combination of science and communication and photography for wildlife conservation. And I think that's kind of been always like at the heart of what I want to do in my career. And so I have a background with I have a biology degree, and then I worked for a long time as a project manager on environmental remediation projects. So, looking at watersheds, analyzing different types of contaminants, and then moved on to La Jolla, where I applied to Scripps Institution of Oceanography, and I got a master's degree, and I got the opportunity to put together a really cool project researching whale watching tourism sustainability. So from Mexico all the way along the west coast up to Tofino, British Columbia, and got to go on around 40 vessels looking at whales. And when you're watching for whales, you see a lot of other animals too, and that just the photography behind that and the storytelling capability of being out on the water and sharing the story front of the lives that I was seeing of these animals really got me thinking about science communication and storytelling. And I think that's sort of how we came together as I started the podcast, Projects for Wildlife. And I think through like both of our efforts of wanting to be really great storytellers, it was kind of natural that we got all these connections. So it's been really fun over the last few years just to get to know you and be able to go to the field. So I'm really excited to go to Alaska with you.
Well, ditto for sure. Just connecting with you and being able to go on these trips and connect, like you said, science and photography and communication all together has just been a blast. And I too am very excited to do this Alaska trip. I think this is going to be a trip of a lifetime for so many people. We are we do. We're going to some pretty fantastic place and seeing some fantastic wildlife that you're not going to see really anywhere else. And so let's dive in and talk a little bit about this trip and what people would have to look forward to, and also answer any questions that might come up regarding concerns with pandemics and these things that our partner company Holbrook Travel has kind of mitigated some of these challenges that are people are concerned about. So I want to talk about that as well. And anyone who comes in live, just pop in some questions. If you do watch this as a recording, feel free to reach out to either me or Alicia, and we can always answer these questions after this video as well. So I'm going to share a screen here, and this is what you would see if you were to pop onto our Alaska tour. So this is Holbrook Travel's website, and this is our Alaska photography tour here. So you're going to see a couple different things. First of all, an overview that's just telling you a little bit about the trip itself, some highlights, who the leaders are, which is the two of us, as well as itinerary and pricing, some other resources. So Alicia, do you want to just kind of give a little overview of what our guests would have to look forward to for this trip?
Yeah, definitely. We can start at the top if you want, and or are you at the top at the overview? Oh yeah,
this
okay.
is the overview.
Sorry. Yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely. I don't have the ability to drop this Holbrook link into the chat, so maybe you want to provide that for anybody that's online.
Yeah, let's see if I can do that.
I know sometimes like I have sort of bad eyesight, so sometimes the smaller words, reading them on the computer on the share links, it can be a little harder sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know if I don't know. It seems like I can't do that without stop sharing. Here, let me stop share for a second.
Okay.
There we go. Let's see. We're still kind of learning this platform for anyone who's watching, so I apologize. I don't know if I can put it in a comment.
Oh, really? Okay.
We will drop it into it after the fact, though, for sure. So yeah, let me just pull up it again.
Okay.
And all right. So hopefully everybody is seeing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So really, the foundation of this trip was the idea that we really wanted to go to Alaska after our experiences and going to Jackson and seeing the grizzlies in Yellowstone, kind of this protected area. We were really interested in different parks and the ability to see grizzlies in other areas, and kind of combining like the ocean and bears and the opportunity to see wild animals in other wild frontiers. So we thought, why not go to Alaska and put together a photographic journey for other people to join us, because it really is more fun when you have people who are learning photography or wanting to learn about storytelling, or they just want to see animals. And so that might resonate with you. I know that most of the people we talk to are always asking us, how did you capture that photograph? Or where were you? Or, oh, I wish I could take a photo like that. And the truth is, you can. And so you don't always have to be in these epic places, but if you come to an epic place, then let's get you prepared to capture that moment that you really want to. And so, why not come to Alaska, right? So, really, Alaska is a really special place, as you know. It's inside the US. So, that's one of the reasons we're really excited to go there, because traveling to Alaska eliminates a lot of the the hangups of going internationally and being able to come back into the US. So we're super excited about this trip. So one of the things, we're going to spend time at a remote lodge. We're going to photograph black bears and brown bears. And then we're going to travel to Prince William Sound by boat, and we're going to photograph and document puffins and murres and kittiwakes, and hopefully we'll see some humpback whales. And there's also the world's largest population of sea otters in this area. So it really is an all-encompassing kind of mountains, rivers, bears, whales, ocean, and just really unique animal species from all types of megafauna, from marine to terrestrial, that we're going to be able to see. And so one of the things that you'll learn in this along this journey is really how to use your camera and how to capture photographs that tell stories, or capturing a photograph you love, and how do you integrate that into a storyline or finding a conservation project. So really, we want to help you design photographs, make photographs that maybe you have a story in mind you want to tell, or maybe you want to take the photo and create the story after. So we're really here to help you make that photograph unique to you and also create a story. And along the way, while we're on this journey, we're going to be talking a lot about storytelling and capturing those photographs.
Absolutely. Yep, that's a perfect description of what we're doing and what you have to look forward to. So just a few highlights that Alicia mentioned. We're going to be photographing particularly wildlife is what we're out there looking for. So the location that we're going, we're going to see both black bears and brown bears. The location that we're visiting is one of the only places in the world that you're going to see them together, which is very, very special. And we're also going to be spending some time photographing whales and puffins, as well as the largest sea otter population in the world. So it's a really fantastic location for sure. So if you are on our Holbrook page, you're not only going to see the information as the overview, but a detailed itinerary. So I think we're just going to go through a little bit of the itinerary. Of course, you can always look at this yourselves on the website, but we're going to start on July 24th. You're going to fly to Anchorage. Now, that is the only part of the trip that is not part of the pricing, is you need to get yourself to Anchorage, just because depending on where you're coming from, that's going to be a different price for everyone. So we just starting the tour in Anchorage itself on July 24th. And there will be someone at the airport to collect you and take you to our first hotel. And we will have at the hotel an evening lecture as well. Food and transportation once you're in Alaska is all covered as part of the trip. So once you're there, you don't have to worry about any of that extra stuff. On the second day, we're going to be transferring to Cordova. And we are going to be meeting our guide and transfer to our lodge. We're going to do a little bit of initial sites along the way, looking at swan nests and a little bit of the Cordova town center as well. And after an orientation and lunch, we're going to explore the Copper River Delta. as part of the, I cannot pronounce that.
Chugach.
Say it again.
Chugach
Yeah, there you
National
go.
Forest.
I always get hung up on some of those Alaskan names. So yeah, so it's a critical habitat, particularly for trumpeter swans and nests. So it's a pretty spectacular location. And we're going to be observing the Power Creek Trail for bears and spawning salmon. So most people know one of the best things about visiting Alaska in the summertime is the salmon starts to spawn, which attracts bears to those rivers. So finding bears in Alaska is actually not that difficult because you just need to know where the salmon is spawning. So we will be going out on a boat the next day to look for puffins. Puffins are one of my very favorite birds. They look like kind of like clowns. I think they're so cute with their little black and white feathers and their bright orange beaks. They're a very popular Alaska sight to see. So we will be going to a popular puffin nesting area. And then we'll be going up to Prince William Sound, where we're going to also see Muirs and
Kittiwakes.
Say it again.
Kittiwakes.
Kittiwakes. There we go. I love it.
Yeah,
of course, whales. So when we're out on the boat, we're always going to be looking for whales, but particularly humpbacks and orcas that are frequently seen in that area. We're then going to the next day fly. So you're going all out. We're going boats, planes. We're going all sorts of transportation. So we're going to fly out to this remote camp off the Gulf Coast. And this is, to me, this is the best part too. So this is a very special location for bears. And this is, I believe, the area where you're going to see both the brown bears and the black bears together, which is a really, really special place. We're also looking at some abandoned towns and some old relics. So some pretty special locations in this area as well. So, but really focusing on bears in this part of the trip. We also, let's see, we're going to spend a little bit of time out there and explore some of the surrounding areas of the you said it before, Catala River. Yeah, Catala River. So the next day we're going to be doing some exploring of the area before we travel back to Cordova and the Orca Lodge. And later in that afternoon, give you just some free time where you can do some fishing or kayaking, whichever you prefer. So we like to give a little bit of extra time just to explore on your own, not keep everything so stringent to a schedule. So giving you a little free time on that day to do what you want. On the 30th, we're going to go out and see sea otters, which are so cute. Alicia and I went up to Monterey and saw California sea otters last year. We did a little photo tour before we did a conference for the Wildlife Disturbance Symposium. But I guess that was 2019. I just blocked out 2020. But this area has a much greater population of sea otters, and they are often seen rafting together. So this should be a really fun experience for sure.
I think so.
There's also going to be other types of shorebirds and marine mammals in that area as well.
And there possibly could be some birds of prey like osprey or eagles or some other interesting bird species as well, which will be interesting to see.
Yeah, I would definitely venture to guess that there's going to be bald eagles and other types of birds of prey like that. They're often very attracted to this area, particularly anytime that there's spawning salmon and things like that. We are also expecting to see sea otter pups during this trip too. So that's always really exciting when you can see pups with their moms.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, and then after that, we're going to transfer back to Anchorage, and then you'll have a little bit of time on your own before you fly back. So this is going to be a really fun trip, like I said, out on a boat, up in a plane, seeing lots of wildlife. It's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, and I definitely encourage people to look up the Orca Lodge where we'll be staying in Cordova and kind of those day trips and kind of the wildlife around that area. And you can see sort of what other photographers take pictures of or stories in those areas, and think about, the type of photos you might want to capture, or the animals that you might want to see as well, because we've highlighted a number of them, but there's many, many more species. So there might be something that really calls out to you that you see. So we want to make sure that you also have a trip capturing the animals that you want to see. So, yeah, like I'm very excited about the trumpeter swans. They winter here in Sequim, and so I've been watching about 180 of them this winter in different areas, and they'll be flying up to Alaska at the end of this month. So it'll be fun to see them with their little babies.
Absolutely. Yeah. So fun. They do live in those family groups, and you get to see the little babies up in the summertime up in Alaska. So it'll be great. Yeah. So the cost of the trip is $6,195. It is based on a double occupancy, but you can buy a single room supplement if that's something that you're interested in. And then what's included, all the activities, all the transportation once you're there, meals, everything is included. We also do have a carbon offset, which is something I'm really excited that this company does. Is that something you want to talk about, Alicia? Do you have any thoughts about the carbon offsetting?
Yeah, it's just a great way for you to. So one of the a major contributing climate change transportation is flying by airplane, and so if we can contribute to carbon offset by adding a little bit of additional funds, that helps contribute to fighting climate change. And so whenever you fly, you can choose carbon offset, or like Holbrook, they seek this out so that when it's a great way to keep touring the world and seeing the world, but also giving back. So we are excited that this company is really focused on ethics of wildlife viewing, finding guides that have ethics at the top of their mind, but then also, they realize that there are climate impacts to tourism, and carbon offset is one way that people can still go see these areas and be a part of the wilderness, and but also contribute to doing good. So yeah, it is really good. We are very excited about it.
Yeah, exactly. So something else to note is the final payments are due by April 20th. So you have a little bit of time, but don't wait too long, because we only can take 12 people, and then we're maxed out. And something that I'm sure a lot of people are wondering. So I'm going to stop this so we can look at us again. All right. Hello. And that is questions regarding, like, what do I do if they shut down travel, or any of those things that people are worried about with traveling right now. And Holbrook has really done an amazing job at mitigating some of those concerns. So offering a no risk cancellation if we have to cancel the trip or postpone it for another year, they're not, you're not out all your money, which is fantastic.
So it's a $500 deposit per person. And basically that deposit is refundable in 95 days prior to the departure. But also, if there is a COVID impact of some sort, you still get your deposit back. So we really are, Jen and I are very sensitive to the COVID impacts to everybody. We also know there's a lot of people who want to start traveling and planning to do something and go somewhere. And then Holbrook is very invested in the health of people who are traveling. So I think collectively we can make this happen. And there's a lot of protocols in place to really help each other stay safe and healthy along the way.
Absolutely. So Alaska has, at least for the time being, it's opened up travel. It's actually been an area that has been still able to travel with what's going on with the pandemic, unlike, going international. Like we said before, this is still in country. You just need to provide a negative COVID test. So it should put people's mind at ease that everyone who's entering into the state of Alaska is showing up with a negative COVID test. So that, we're going to be traveling as a group. We'll all be able to provide that negative COVID test. So we know within our group that we've all been tested. So.
Yeah.
Well, great. So that's kind of our trip. That's what we have to look forward to. And we are inviting anyone who wants to join us to, ask us questions, sign up. We're really excited to be bringing people on this amazing adventure, and we are hoping to have a full house and be able to provide all sorts of fun, conservation knowledge, photography experience. You don't have to be widely versed in photography. You don't even have to be a photographer to join us. If you just want to come and view bears, you are welcome.
Yeah, I think this is really unique because the campsite we're going to, that's kind of in the Alaska wilderness, is, very, very small camp and kind of a more remote location than you would be able to get easily like on your own. So going with a group and having access to this location is really special. And also, if you're wondering what to pack, that on the resources tab on Holbrook, you can see suggested packing list, so you kind of get an idea of what to bring with you, whether it's t-shirts and long sleeves, shorts, pants, ponchos, those sort of things, hats. And then as far as camera gear goes, if you are interested in doing camera gear beyond your cell phone, maybe you just want to bring binoculars, but whatever it is, we can help kind of steer you in the right direction on what to bring as far as lens sizes and those sort of things. And then definitely like the adventure gear of your backpack and flashlight and sunscreen, all of those fun things. So, and then also because we're trying to be more sustainable when we travel, where we would ask that you think about bringing a reusable water bottle, reusable coffee mug, and just kind of think about those ways when we get to Alaska that we're not leaving a lot of debris and trash behind. That even if you want to bring your own reusable and travel worthy utensils. Right. The reusable disposables, but they're not disposable.
and a little surprise that's not on the website is that Alicia and I are going to be providing water bottles that have our logo on it. I have a couple dozen in my garage. Awesome. I'm pretty sure everyone will get one for sure. So if you are concerned about finding a water bottle, which I'm sure no one is, but we will give you a free little gift when you get there for some sustainable water bottles.
So I guess like one thing, I guess before we close up, I mean, I think between the both of us, we've traveled internationally and nationally quite a bit. So, I mean, who knows how many total miles, right, between the two of us? So really, if I just want to say, like, if you've never traveled, or traveling far, or even thinking Alaska is like a pretty far destination for you, and you have some questions, or you have never traveled, really come join us. We're happy to answer questions, and we definitely have packed for all different types of scenarios and locations. And if you don't know what it's like to be out on the water, or have ever rowed on a boat, to look for animals and kind of some of the things that you need to be settled on a boat and comfortable. Um, I've had lots of boat time, so I'm happy to be a resource for you if you have questions about that. Or, yeah, really lean in on us, and let us help answer questions for you, like any questions you have. And we really hope that you'll bring a friend, a family member, someone that you might have fun traveling with, because I think going up there and being able to experience what we're going to see like bears, and hopefully we'll see some cubs, whales, baby swans. I mean, there's just so many things, baby little sea otter pups. So I think it's pretty magical. So when you think about that, if it's for you, great. If it's for you and a friend or a loved one, like, we hope you'll join us.
Yeah. On that note, I think we're going to wrap up today. Like I said, reach out, ask us questions. I'm going to put the link to the Holbrook site so you can review anything we talked about. You can also reserve your spot on there as well. Like we said, there's very little risk, just a deposit. If anything happens COVID related, it is refundable. They've been really great with everything. I've traveled with them before. They're a wonderful company, and I'm really excited to invite you to join us.
Yeah, well, thanks, Jen.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Well, we will wrap up, and we hope to see everybody in Alaska.
Sounds good.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.